I've seen quite a few videos of people showcasing their various EDC or everyday carry mint tins. So I thought that would be a fun project, to build one of these.
Oh yeah!
After a little bit of planning and discussion with a good friend, we decided to do this as kind of a fun project. But I wanted something just a little bit different, and so this is what I came up with. There was a few ideas that we need to put into play. Is one, it needed to be purposeful. We need to have maybe one of two categories we came up with. One was either an urban tin or a wilderness tin. And since I live in a predominantly urban environment, this is an urban tin. And second, it really needed to be personalized, something that I wanted or that would benefit me. And so I made even two more for other people, and they were, different than this one, which was customized for that particular person. So I think that's an important aspect, that if someone's going to make one of these, they need to take that into account, those two attributes. So I came up with this, and as far as I know, this is the only dentist recommended version. So we got that going for us. My goal was to, just, carry things that would, keep me from
Living in a van down by the river!
So here we go. So first off, we've got a rubber band here, which has, many uses. So we'll keep that, as a key attribute. And on the bottom, there is a magnet. It's not a very strong magnet, but it's a magnet nonetheless. It can be maybe useful in certain scenarios, to pick things up. This magnet actually came off the back of a refrigerator calendar sent to me by a realtor. Can't remember the realtor's name, but thank you for sending that. So as we open it up, like many of these tins, the first thing you'll see is this microfiber cloth, which for cleaning glasses or for other things, that often comes in very useful. And next is this is just a piece of clear straw, and it has 2 feet of rope, and the rope is multi-twine or multi-threaded, so strong but not very strong, and just to have in case you need a little string to tie something up. Then we've got this Boker knife, which I end up really liking. Now this is not the kind of knife you would want to have for putting a lot of pressure on, as far as pressure, pushing down on something, but it gives you a good sized blade, and it was moderately sharp upon arrival. And it's got, it locks in place with this little spring-loaded piece here. Not really spring, but tension piece there. So it folds up very thin. And it actually had a clip piece with 2 screws that I removed just to make it a little more thin. All right, so next we've got this. I'll come back to this, but this will be a tool that we'll talk about. And probably one of the most expensive pieces in this tin was this little flashlight that I decided to purchase. And I purchased this one primarily because it is one, small, bright, and it's micro USB rechargeable. So that was a key attribute, to be able to have this flashlight be rechargeable. And it is quite bright. It's daylight in here, and this thing still does quite a bit of light. So we have that. And then you see a lot of tins have an emergency whistle. Here's the one that's black in color, very small. I actually ended up getting a pack of 10 of these off eBay that I could buy cheaper, than I could buy 2 of them, because I wanted to put one in another tin I was building for somebody. So now I still have quite a few extras. The purpose of the emergency whistles, it should require like no practice, and should be easily sounded. So I'll just do a really quick, so it almost sounds like your fire alarm chirp when you blow that. Then there's this fire starter, and this has a 1/4 of a cotton ball in there that I lathered a little bit in Vaseline, and then I did the little modification that I'll put in a link down below of where this information comes from. But it makes it for a very small fire starter that even can be one-handed. And I've tested this, and this will be a good starter. So if you had some, some small wood tinder and build your little nest like you should do when you're building a fire, and have some, maybe some other smaller wood, or slightly larger wood, and slightly larger than your main wood. That 3-stage to 4-stage approach of building your fire. So this will be enough to get it started. Not sure that'll work very well in wet conditions, but in dry conditions it certainly will. This is the Gerber dime multi-tool. This and I picked this one particular one because it's small, but it has quite a few tools. And one tool in particular I wanted to make sure that I maintain in a little multi-tool was a set of pliers, and this is spring-loaded pliers. And like most of them, it has the scissors, it has the screwdrivers, and etc. I think they advertise at 11, but as far as usefulness, it's just a few. But I also wanted to have a little set of tweezers, and this one has a little set of tweezers embedded in the handle, that you can use for removing a splinter, or whatever you use a pair of tweezers for. Not that they're the best tweezers, but when you need them, they might just be enough for doing the job. So that's the Gerber dime mini multi-tool. I won't go into expanding on that. There's plenty of videos that cover that tool in particular. And then this is a small set of fingernail clippers. This particular brand is well known. It's very compact, and they are surprisingly good. In fact, I use these more than probably anything in the tin. I use these, because they're so precise and so well. This is a really well-made product. You might think it's expensive for a set of tweezers, but it's small. It fits in here really nice. But also, in addition to that, they're very good quality. This is nothing but a simple twist tie that I've shaped and straightened out just so it would fit in the tin nicely. So it's a little longer one, which could come in useful. So I wanted to have that available. We'll come back to this in just a minute. Then one small piece of Velcro. Not that would be very useful, but it could come in a bind. Maybe something that you could use. Then this is just a piece of desk scotch tape. To put in a safety pin, a paper clip, and one of those SIM card removal tools. Those things come in handy from time to time, and this is just an easy way to put them together, and where they lay flat, I can easily access them. Then this is a pack of antibiotic ointment, and I decided to put this in sideways, so I trimmed the edges just slightly to make it fit a little nicer, so it still retains its integrity, but it fits in there a little better. And then we have likewise an alcohol wipe, and I also trimmed that one also. Then you've got to have a Band-Aid. I think I might switch this out for a different type of Band-Aid, but this is the beginning Band-Aid. And again, this is your EDC, your emergency type Band-Aid. This is a refill cartridge for one of those pins you fit on your keychain. So not much of a pin, but you could use it in a bind, and it does work. I've tried it. Then this is a ruler that there's plenty of places on the internet you can find rulers that are printable. So this is printed just off of a regular standard piece of paper. So now I have an accessible 12-inch ruler that I keep in here that I could use when I need to measure something, which that has actually come in handy more than once as well. Then this little hex tool is the reason why we had this other magnetic tool in there. And this is magnetic, so you can maybe hear it snap in. And number 6, and then also in here we have the number 9. I found that those are the two most common tips that are on various electronics, so that's why I included those two in this tool to have that available. Again, customizing it for my needs. And this may be the world's smallest compass, but it does work. I find I have to wiggle it maybe a little bit, to get enough fluid moving around because it is so small. But it does work. So there's that. Probably could fit a bigger one of those in there. Then we have this $20 bill. And we keep, you know, one stamp in here, one of those forever stamps, you know, the American flag. So keep that in there and keep it near the bottom so it's not easy to get to. And then lastly, this is a fold-up bag that, you know, when you go to the grocery store and buy fruit or vegetables, sometimes you may. So I just kept one of those and flattened it out and folded it up to fit in there nicely. All right, so now, with that in mind, let me go back to this guy. This is my pharmacy / bathroom tin. So in here, what we have is there are 2 dental tools there. There's a wand of floss that, you know, the ones when you visit a dentist that they can give you for free. I took it out of the case and put it in there, and that's just a little piece of tape there to hold it in place. Underneath it is 2 Benadryl tablets underneath the dental tools. These vertical pills are just Excedrin for headache, and then these at the top are Imodium. So if you have the need for that, that's a really good thing to have. And then this large thing is one of those compressed towelettes. And just with a few drops of water, that will expand to a very nice and larger than you would think washcloth, and it's stronger than you would think. And it's even a little stretchy. So this little tin or mini tin inside the tin is what I'm calling the, you know, the pharmacy or the, you know, the medicine cabinet, whatever. But so that could be helpful. So let me come out just a little bit and get these organized so you can see them all. And what you'll see is that, like most of these videos that you may watch on this type of project, it is a little surprising on how much you can actually fit inside this little tin and it still remain closable, you know, and, you know, easily carryable. So I would say probably the most useful things for me personally in this tin were obviously the flashlight, occasionally the knife, and the clippers. You know, I use quite a bit, and then the multi-tool for the pliers. So there's everything you see in it, and you can see up here I'm starting working on another one as a gift for a friend. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and will consider giving it a like or comment or subscribing. Until next time, ask questions, pray for the Republic, and ask God to bless America.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.